Okay. So if you are an investor in if you're investing in crypto, you already know that what you're investing in is digital money or technological money, right? And so layer ones is basically the infrastructure that houses the whole digital economy. And why that's important is because with everything you do, whether it's in business, whether it's in life, whether it's in the stock market, whether it's in the crypto markets, there has to be a foundation. And so layer ones are basically the foundational protocols that are the backbone for a decentralized blockchain space. And basically, what that means is these are the protocols that are building everything else in the crypto space. So, this is the reason why you need to invest in these tokens first. And a lot of these protocols are already the top 10 cryptos. And so, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And so, one of my favorite quotes is a quote that says, "Those who build the roads of tomorrow shape the economy of the future." And that's real important. If you think about back in the day, over almost like 200 years ago, one of the most expansive piece of technology that our country in the United States ever made was the railroad system. And you had people, and we have to give the Chinese Americans really, big ups for building it because they were the ones, along with us African Americans, building the railroads from the eastern part of the country to the western part of the country. And that allowed for pretty much any person who was a citizen of the United States of America to be able to go to any large city in this country, right? So that was the technological revolution because for the first time, people could be able to go to any major city in the United States of America. We see how technology has bridged the gap, especially with the internet, that it has made for people to not only connect with loved ones, connect with business partners, connect with the global world, right? We now become a global village. So technology and internet was a global connector to bridge the real world with the digital age. And now blockchain is now the backbone that's connecting money into the digital age, right? So if I had the ability to define what a layer one token is, it is basically operating systems of a decentralized internet, right? So this is not just cryptocurrencies, but this is a digital foundation where any crypto can build upon this foundation or this protocol, and future supply chains can be built and built and built and compounded. So if you don't know about what crypto can be anything, right? Because what crypto is a new digital marketplace for money. So we know that anybody can create a token, anybody can create a crypto. And what that crypto does is it gives the fundraising to be able to create real infrastructure in real time. Now, how is this used? Let's say you want to create an album. I'm just going and just showing you the possibilities with crypto. And in traditional finance, nobody wants to buy your album, or you can't get money from mainstream media for them to build your album so that you can be listened to or streamed all across the world, right? Because streaming is not a lot of money to be made. You can put your album on a blockchain and get paid in crypto and create a cryptocurrency that is connection to your album, and you can get paid from this decentralized space, and you can cut out the middleman. So this technology, this layer one technology, allows for people to be able to build anything, any protocol that they want, whether it's banks, whether it's media, games. It's taking the internet and then giving the power of the internet to the individual user without using an intermediary, right? You know, right now that if you needed to create a website for a business, you have to go to an intermediary. You have to pay them. You have to pay them for hosting. You have to pay them to create your site. But now with blockchain technology and the layer one infrastructure, you now can create your own applications. You can now create your own smart contracts. You can now create your own decentralized finance, basically your own banking. And you are now the person that's running the show. So for the first time ever, you have the ability to run your own show. I know there's going to be a lot of questions about that, and then we're going to be able to answer it. I'm going to get Darius in a couple of minutes to really explain in a more simple detail about what's going on here, and then we'll talk a little bit about some of the layer ones that we think is going to be real, real nice for you to invest in. So we started to see the first layer one is Bitcoin, right? So what does Bitcoin do? Bitcoin is and Darius talked about this last week. It's a protocol to be used as digital gold. So if we know that our economy and every economy almost in the world is going to be printing more money and they're going to put themselves in debt, we have to protect ourselves as investors. And then one of the ways that we can protect ourselves as investors is finding assets that's going to outpace inflation, right? So Bitcoin solved that problem as a layer one store value protocol. It's now becoming digital gold where you can put your store of wealth into Bitcoin and it's going to compound and compound and compound over time because it has that scarce base mechanism, right? 21 million tokens that can only be mined. There's only about close to 1 million tokens that can be bought up. And so as more and more people get their hands on this network, right? Transact on this network, use this network, then we know that the price to transact on this network is going to get expensive, more expensive, and the price of the asset is going to get more expensive, right? It's just like in the internet. Before there was regulation on the internet, everything was free. Now anything that you do on the internet, it comes with a cost, right? So the second token is Ethereum. And we're going to really talk a little bit about what makes layer one tokens an investment powerhouse. We're going to talk a little about that in a second. So Ethereum is basically a smart contract protocol. Basically, it's Web3. It is a new style of internet that we've never seen before, where it's putting the power into the user's hand. And because we have this ultra power in crypto that can be used by anyone, as you begin to use this protocol, Ethereum allows you to build anything that you want to build on this protocol without having to go through red tape, without having to deal with governments, without having to deal with any regulatory environment telling you what you can and cannot build. And for the first time as a user, we have this ability to be able to really create innovation with limited stoppages. Now, do we know the government can stop things? Yes. But that's why I say limited stoppages, right? So, and I'm gonna let Darius get in here because I'm a little bit over my 15 minutes, and so whatever he wants to share in a couple of minutes, he'll be able to share with you because he's going to give you more of a breakdown of some of the things that's happening along with some of the information that we're sharing with you, right? So Darius is a great guy of understanding Metcalfe's law, right? And he created a piece that we have on our website on our Stratosphere Capital Partners.com, and you can go see that about how Metcalfe's law and the use of blockchain technology is going to get more users and developers to join this network. And as more users and developers join this network, right, this layer one network, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Solana, the more valuable the network becomes. And we're going to show you charts on that. And we start to see Ethereum dominance being proof of this, right? Ethereum was created in 2016, and it was just, $1 million token, right? So over the last 10 years, well, actually 9 years, Ethereum has went from a millions of dollar token to a $400 billion asset. Tremendous growth, tremendous growth. So layer one tokens, they power this ecosystem through something called gas fees, and we're literally talk about that. And basically, that's the fee that you have to transact on a network, right? Because there's going to be more and more users using the network, and as more users use the network, there comes the fee. Now, AVAX, which is Avalanche and Solana, the fees are cheaper because there's so many people that are on the Ethereum network. The fees are much expensive, and we'll talk a little bit about how layer one tokens are achieving that. Okay. So what I want you to think as an investor, the more people who transact on this asset, the more people are going to make money on this asset. Again, the more people who transact on this network, the more people are going to make money on this asset. So what I want to do is I want to get my brother Darius to come in because he's going to explain to you the power of investing in layer ones, the power of the infrastructure. And then we're going to have a little conversation probably in the next 20 minutes and pretty much give you a simple but a high level breakdown of where the money can be made and how you can position yourself to turn just in this year 1,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to 100,000 because of this crypto cycle bull run. And I'm telling you, if you just stay consistent, you can make some pretty quick money before everything blows over in the first part of 2026. So, Brother Darius, are you here? Are you online right now?
Yes, I'm here.
Kind of tell the people a little bit about what Layer One solve, the infrastructure that's we see today, a little bit how it's been different over the couple of years. You can even talk about how different it's been for you, right? Transacting on this network, using this network, investing in this network, and how we've seen a total change in the whole crypto economy over the years. And we've seen a vast abundance of wealth being pumped in this crypto economy. You've been in crypto for about, more than 4 years. I've been in crypto for more than 4 years, and we've seen a lot of money come into, especially layer one protocols. So at this time, if there's anything you want to share, if you want to bring it around full circle or anything, I'm gonna give you the floor at this time.
Yes, thank you for that intro. Yes, right now you're describing what layer one actually is, and like you said, we're not only trying to teach people about economics and stuff like that. We're actually having to educate people on the technology point of this as well. You remember back in the day when MySpace first came out?
Oh yeah, I think
And
everybody remembers that time. Everybody was on it. It was addictive.
so everybody wanted to be on MySpace because they could go to their individual page and create their own page. But, they had the uniqueness, was able to uh, showcase their abilities when it comes to art, digital design, music, uh, just a lot of different things. And everybody started to join MySpace really to showcase they're just personality. You know, it's kind of explaining that network effect and that Metcalfe's law. We saw more and more people joining MySpace. Everybody was like, they wanted to be a cool kid. They wanted to join MySpace. They wanted to be in each other's top five, top eight. So you started to see the development of the internet, and basically that was Web 2. Now Web 3 is basically saying what we're being introduced to now is which is the internet economy, and these layer ones, as in Bitcoin, Ethereum, you now as an individual can, earn on the internet economy. We there's already a network that is the internet that connects over 5 billion people uh, globally around the world to interact on the internet. Now we have a vehicle, which is cryptocurrency, to where you can transact with one of those 5 billion people, or you could transact with all of them potentially. So we have to start looking at this in the technology and that is representing. Now, this is the first time, in history that you as an individual can uh, interact with somebody financially and then make a financial transaction with somebody who doesn't speak the same language, who lives on the other side of the globe through the internet, you know, and not be based on both of you guys' governments to step in and to uh, block the transaction, to stop you guys from doing so. It's like YouTube. You can go on YouTube and you can see videos from all different walks of life across the globe, and you may not even speak the same language, but you can be entertained by people who live on the other side of the world. So we just have to realize that an economy is being created on the internet, and this ecosystem and cryptocurrency allows you to be a part of the developing phase of that economy. You can get in, and like you said, you can imagine if you could have bought the stock in the transcontinental railroad. You'd be you'd be a billionaire,
A
almost
billionaire.
a trillionaire. So you have to look at it like these people who got early on into Bitcoin. That's because that's how they end up being billionaires. They seen the vision, they seen uh, where technology is headed. There's another thing that I want people to look up. It's called the Lindy effect, Lindy effect, and that's just some homework for you guys. But we just have to know that technology is here to stay, and everything is advancing, and we get a chance to not only invest in technology, but invest in the currencies that are going to be extending those technologies and making things better around the globe for us. So we want to get into the Bitcoins. We want to get into the Ethereums, the Solanas, which are these layer ones that everything else is going to be built on. And like I said, it's a powerhouse. Now, if you want to start a society, you're gonna need an energy source. So, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana, Avalanche, these are the energy sources. So, yeah, why don't you buy some energy?
It's as simple as that, my brother. It's just I want y'all to think about like buying like Google and buying like Yahoo, buying AOL and like the late 90s going to 2000. If you would have got in any of these companies and just held them for 5 years, you would have been a multi-millionaire. And so this is what you have to think about on the ground floor. If you believe like in companies like Microsoft, if you believe in companies like Google, then it's basically investing in the same technology, but just on a decentralized side. Decentralized means basically you're not controlled by any government or any middleman like a corporation, right? And so now you have the power to be able to transact and create value for yourself. So what Darius said was very powerful is that the more adoption, right, on these apps, the more people that use these networks, and I've seen personally nobody being on the Solana network to millions and millions and millions of people start to transact on this network, right? Um, Darius has made we told you multi-level six-figure trades and multi different protocols, and we're going to talk a little about one of the ones that he's invested in now. That's I think is going to do tremendously well by the end of the year. So One of the things that got my mindset ticking, and I want Darius to get in here after I say this statement. I know this is going to pique his interest. So, I really want you to get in here and really jump in this. And if y'all can't really understand what's going on, we're going to bring it full circle in about 3 minutes because I just want y'all to really see the macro side, which mean why are businesses, why are economies, why are governments buying it, and why does it seem like individuals are getting scared to buy it? So if you started to look now, you're starting to see banks are being open to crypto companies opening bank accounts. You're starting to see companies like BlackRock, MicroStrategies, MetaPlanet, Fidelity, VanEck buying blocks and blocks and blocks of Bitcoin token. Now, why are these companies doing this? Because they realize that as people are continuing to transact on this network is becoming more and more valuable every day. Now, the mom and pops, the grandpas out there really don't understand how does crypto have value. And with me and Darius know about just high level finance, the only thing that creates value in society is if people are willing to transact and people are willing by a consensus basis to call something valuable. It's like a piece of art. You know, I like John Michel Basquiat, but some of the stuff that John Michel Basquiat did, a kindergarten can do. But if you are an artist, and listen, if y'all are Basquiat fans, don't kill me in the chat. But I'm just saying, like, you had to be able to see the value in his art to really be able to connect with the art. And he's got paintings like dust heads that sold for like 100, and $50 million, right? So why is the dollar a source of value, right? Why, when you get $100 in your account, and I seen something on Threads and it was like $100 is like one adult dollar, and I believe that to be so. Like $100 don't mean anything no more. We've seen over and just in our childhood, $100 is like a 20 or a 10. It don't really even mean nothing, especially when you start dealing with bills. But we started to see that if we trust in dollars, right, and we know that the global economy trusts in dollars, what are people trusting in? They're not trusting in the dollar not to lose value because we know the dollar is losing value year over the year. What they're trusting in is the dollar is going to continue to be the global reserve currency. And all that means is it's going to be the currency that people want to do business in, right? There's a system like petrodollar. Petrodollar means you cannot buy oil across the world unless you buy it in dollars. So if Russia wants to buy oil, they've got to buy oil from Saudi Arabia in US dollars. If Saudi Arabia wants to get paid, they don't get paid in I think it's the Saudi Arabia it's the dinar. They don't get paid in the dinar. They get paid in um, dollars, and they can transfer it back to the north. Now, how does crypto solve this? Right. So basically, as we're seeing more and more people take dollars, right, from traditional finance and put it in decentralized finance, you're starting to see tokens become more and more valuable. So we see institutions like the Middle East are building infrastructure on layer one, pumping billions and billions of dollars in crypto. Banks and now brokerage houses are pumping billions and billions of dollars in crypto. And now, for the first time, financial institutions are buying up blocks of crypto because they understand if this asset goes up 10x or 20x or 30x, they're going to have all of it. And you're going to have to buy it from them to get a piece at a much higher price. So if you know this to be the case, my thing to tell you today is why are you so scared to buy it? And what is the thing that is hijacking your mind not being able to buy this asset? And I want to talk a little bit about that. Darius, go a little bit about because you're on this all day. A little bit, talk to us a little bit about how institutions, how banks, how global finance, how businesses and governments are using crypto now and buying up blocks and blocks of digital assets when 4 years ago, through a Biden administration, we know this wasn't so. And the regulatory challenges was just immense for it not to be so. But we see a switch on a dime now. Can you talk to the people a little bit about that?
Yes, I think there was a genesis and just a recognition of noticing that the financial order that we have right now really runs on the printing of money. So the printing of money, which causes the inflation and also currency debasement, it doesn't really help the economy in the way that most people think it does. Right now, there's about $3 trillion that is printed currency uh, that the U.S. government and the Fed controls. And just a year ago, that was only 2.7 trillion. So if you add $300 billion to the money supply in the government, that also that causes inflation, and it's also a debasement of the currency. Now, I'll just do it by a simple, uh, equation like this. So, if the total number is 3 trillion, what happens when the money supply is 6 trillion? Just by simple addition, we would know everything would cost would double what the price is now because the money supply has doubled. So if the money supply is doubled, that means everything around you is going to cost more. A bottle of water. Remember, you just could buy a bottle of water for 50 cents. You can't go buy a bottle of water for under $2 now in most places around the United States. So you have to look at it that uh, these businesses, these institutions have smartened up and they see that this could be an opportunity for them to not just rely on the fiat currency system, but have a place in the footing in a hedge against inflation when it comes to cryptocurrency. So if I could go buy, you know, real estate in Manhattan in 1901 and I could just hold that, today that's worth billions of dollars. They're thinking that, uh, not thinking, but the evidence shows that crypto and Bitcoin has done that. Went from being less than 1 cent to over 100. Right now, stayed over $100,000 per coin for the first time in its history for over a week, and it's right probably at 106 right now. So we've seen the increase from less than 1 cent to $106,000 per coin. Now, where is that going to go 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now? The price is going to keep growing, and it's going to, like I said, it's going to be out inflation. It's going to protect these institutions from currency debasement. And it's like buying the new real estate, buying the new Manhattan, buying into the new Intercontinental Railroad, buying into the new internet. That's what's happening right now.
And that's just very powerful that you say that because let's see how I want to talk about this slide. Let's see how layer ones would transform commerce and business, right? So one of the things that you see is I'm sure everybody that's on this slide and watching this on Zoom and then who's going to watch it on YouTube know every day you got to spend money. Every day in your life you have to spend money. You know, I spend $100 probably by the time I wake up. You know, um, this is going to sound so bad, and my girlfriend is on here, but if you would see just my Starbucks bill for the month, it is in the thousands. It is crazy. And not to this, I mean, it's very, very depressing that I have to say that my Starbucks bill is that much. But um, when you start to think about payments, right? Every time you use your card, whether it's a debit card or credit card, that's a fee that's connected to that. That fee is 3%, right? So Visa, MasterCard, American Express is getting 3%. every charge from a merchant from when you swipe that card for convenience of use, right? Now, Visa is pretty fast, right? I think it can do somewhere like, 30,000 transactions per second, which means if everybody's swiping all across America and all across the world, right, it can do something like 600,000 transactions in 10 seconds. In a minute, you got a millions of swipes, right, that can happen. But crypto has solved that problem with tokens like Solana and Aptos, where they have the transaction throughput to do 100,000 transactions per second, excuse me. That's double what Visa is doing, or triple what Visa is doing. Solana's like 65,000. Aptos has the ability to do 100,000 transactions. So guess what happened? Visa and MasterCard partner with them because this company can now produce more transactions for this car company than the infrastructure they have themselves, right? So now we're starting to see that, like Darius said, if more people are starting to, governments are starting to use this asset, recognizing that this is a legal asset, you can use it for real world utility, right? Not only that, it has the security of technology, right? With the encrypted technology, you as the transactor, the person who is sending money or receiving money, you are totally secure. And we know what seed phrases, which we'll talk about on another class, and fingerprint technology and face technology. Sending money is not only seamless, fast, but it also is very much secure and protected with crypto. You know, I have a cousin who he's in the army. Every now and then he asks, "Hey, cuz, can I get some money? I'm gonna pay you back." And I send him Solana, and within 25 seconds, he's in Amsterdam right now. I send him money, and he gets the money within 26 seconds from New Orleans to Amsterdam. So we're seeing a whole new revolution. We're seeing a whole new revolution in these assets. And what we're trying to do right now is just really let you know, because a lot of people are asking me and Darius every day, and we get headaches on our consultant side with our company, and then just personally because we're in global finance. Is it too late to buy crypto? Bitcoin is $100,000. And you know what we tell everybody? No, it's not too late because crypto is like real estate. It'd be like buying, like he said, a Manhattan property in 1901 and then getting that same property and being like, is it too late to buy this Manhattan property? Well, you know it's not because we know as long as people are living in America, they're going to want to live in Manhattan. And that's the same thing. Crypto and blockchain technology has become an asset that's going to revolutionize our world. Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh, Lord, this dude is just drinking the Kool Aid. We've seen bubbles before. Listen, one of the things I know about bubble, a lot of people don't ain't gonna tell you. A bubble can last for a year, 3 years, maybe even 4 or 5. And Darius can back this up. And anytime you want to come in, my brother, you can. Bubbles don't last for 15 years. It
Exactly.
just
That's not a bubble. It's a creation of a new economy. Like I said, what we're seeing is this is the internet, and like I said, these are another terms that people might need to understand. Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. This is the third iteration of the internet. You know, so it couldn't be a bubble because it's built on top of the internet. So it's built on top of a multi-trillion-dollar infrastructure and something that already exists, and it also will make the internet better. So it's not a bubble. It's just most people don't understand that it's technology. Most people didn't go up geeks and worked on computers and stuff like that. That's why you see a lot of these people are computer scientists and stuff like that. But you have the computer scientists uh, and you have the money managers working together to create this new economy. So what's happening is you need, and what we're trying to show you guys is you'll also be learning technology at the same time learning about money.
I want to do a key metric. Now, this is the second largest crypto in the world. It's Ethereum. Basically, you can build anything over it. And anytime you want to chip in, my brother, you can. But I want you to look at the market cap where you see here. Let me see if I can draw on and annotate. I want you to look at this circulating market cap right here. Circulating market cap. If you go from 2023, you see 274 billion to 437 billion, right? We see a drop turn of 412 billion going into 2024. But then at the end of this last year, you see 400 billion. So over 1 year, you start to see at least a 50% increase in market cap in this asset. So what that tells me is that people are transacting on this asset globally every day. And if you see this asset goes from 274 billion to right now, and just in the quarter, 401 billion in market cap, year over year change, you see 41% in the price, 46% in circulating market cap. Fees are increasing. Transacting fees is increasing, which means that on this network, more and more people are transacting using this network. And you start to see, look at how many people. This is the daily addresses. See, now, this is letting you know the real utility behind crypto. A lot of people don't get to see this. So there is information that's out there with crypto that you can look at to show you how powerful this network is. You see from 300,000 active daily users, now they're going to 400,000. So we're seeing the increases in real time. We're seeing money coming in real time. And what you're seeing is an increase yearly. Is this asset like any asset? Will it go down in the short term? Yes. But we're talking about a marathon, not a sprint. So we're just showing you what these assets can do, how many people are using and transacting on this network, and how, if you're not in the game, you need to be thinking about this year, how can I get some exposure to crypto? My brother, is there anything you want to share about the metrics of some of these layer ones? Anything that you want to kind of talk to the people about how the money that's coming in, especially from institutions?
Yeah, I would say, I guess most people, we don't really grasp how big these numbers are. For 400,000, daily active users, that's a lot of people. That's bigger than just the city of New Orleans. So we have to realize that, and with this technology, that this data is very accurate. It's like, when you use your cell phone, uh, people can see each text. When you get your cell phone bill, you can see each text that you sent out that month, because with the technology in that we're using this, in the digital technology, you have more accurate data. So when you see this, you see a $70,000 growth. I mean, 70,000 people growth within 1 year. That you can see that more people are coming into this network, and it's only going to keep growing. 40% increase in 1 year. That shows that this is a growing sector, and that more and more people are coming in. You got more institutions, like you said earlier, solving wealth funds, different countries, even to cities now deciding to buy into these assets. So you have to look at this and make a decision to yourself and see that this is not going anywhere. It's actually growing. You have a chance to get in at the base level and buy the same asset that the same people that run your city, your government, your country are actually buying into as well.
My brother, since we got a couple of minutes, I really wanted you to explain it just to wet that beak, and that we are on. We'll do the whole month of the ending of May and the whole month of June just talk about crypto, because we know what's getting ready to happen. They can buy stocks at any time and continue to buy your stock, but we just want to let them know what's getting ready to happen in crypto. If you had the ability to talk to the people a little bit and tell them like three layer ones they need to invest in right now in 2025, what would your three be and why?
Right now, I would say Ethereum, of course,
Okay.
is the second crypto. Got legislation, starting to get legislation behind it. You're starting to see it has ETFs and stuff behind it, like Bitwise, and I think BlackRock is looking to start an ETF behind Ethereum as well. So you have institutional investors that are getting behind Ethereum. Um, like you said, it may even have a bigger amount of developers in the network than Bitcoin itself. So Ethereum is the real deal. Um, it is definitely something that people can look on their list and uh, potentially double their money during this bull run. You know, maybe uh, two times their money, so 2x their money. So that's definitely a good one to look at. Um, I'll definitely go with one of your favorites, Solana.
Oh, now you're speaking my language.
Solana, because like you were saying earlier, the transactions per second. Solana, 65,000 transactions per second, and like you were saying, that is better than some of these financial services that we use currently right now, and they're going to want to integrate with that technology, and you know it's the has the small fees, is actually an energy efficient blockchain. So that's why Solana has made a big splash. I think it's definitely going to be a go-to, growing, real institutional people are going to get behind Solana, and it just makes sense for all of those reasons. And then you said a third one. You go back to that list.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got you. Let's see here. Go back to home. There we go. Out of all these, we got a couple of them here. Which one do you like?
Mm. I've been hearing a lot of good thing about the one you're in right now, SUI. I know a lot of uh, institutions are starting to pick up on that one as well. I will also look at um, when it comes to the stable coins. I think people can look at that as well. And there's going to be a lot of growth in the stable coins. And once people learn about just staking and stuff like that, you know, USDC is basically one that is going to be good. You have institutional investors. It's kind of pretty much uh, tagged along with Coinbase. Coinbase is, as you guys learned last week, has been well just yesterday been put on the S&P 500. So you can look at these stable coins and see that there's going to be growth in that sector. Um, but if you want to go more on Sui and why you like that one,
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at showing the numbers right here. Just look at something that's real big. Look at the market cap from 2023 to 2024. 14x. That's just tremendous growth, right? Just tremendous growth in this asset. And what they solve is the ability to produce transactions fast. Look at the active daily users going from 60,000 to almost under a million people. So this as an investor should show you, wait, what's going on here? What's going on? People are locking up their tokens from 200 million to 1.7 billion in the fourth quarter, 690% growth. So some of these numbers are just so astronomical. They're making more money off of fees, another 1,000%. As an investor, you got to go, wait. What am I missing? The only thing I don't like about this chart, as you would know, is the active validators. Because more and more people are going to have to validate networks to validate transactions as these addresses are increasing. You got to increase these numbers. And with 1.9%, this is the only thing about this chart I do not like. But everything else, as you know, as an investor, my brother, just tell people how explosive a 10x return is in a crypto market. Like, I mean, because
Yeah,
people just be thinking 1,000% just goes, comes and goes like it ain't nothing. Like, if you're looking at these numbers as an investor, it's like, whoa, I need to be jumping on it. Just look from Q3 to Q3. Let me change that color. I want to put like maybe yellow. Just look at from Q3. It triples in 3 months from 4.8 billion to 12 billion. And the Q1 reports are about to come out. So that's one of the things I'm going to be looking at. Okay, the Q1 reports is going to tell us, wait, how much money is coming into this asset right now? So you have an opportunity with Sweet. I think it's like $3.80 to really get on this asset on the ground floor. Every single person watching right now should be having 100 tokens of Sweet. That's $380. That ain't nothing. You can do that. You figure before October, you can probably do $40 a week, and in 10 weeks you won't have 100 tokens. And that 380 will go to close to 4 or 5 bands.
yes, that is a great return. I think. See, I like how you going into market cap. See, right now, if you look at the stock market for the first time ever, we had 10 companies that's over $1 trillion and stuff like that. What I see happening in the crypto market, I believe all top 10 coins are their market cap is definitely going to go over $50 billion. So if you look at it from now, just from 12 to 50 billion, that's another possible 4x. So
4X. Yeah.
so when it comes to the overall look of just what the market cap is and what it means to the pricing of your crypto, that's something to pay attention to. If and I know the people who got in before it was $1 billion. I know they're looking at it like they one of the best investments in their life.
Oh yeah, man. I was getting in like probably like I got in probably like maybe like 96 cents. So I definitely 4X. I'm looking for the 10 me, so it's just one of those things. I think we got somebody in the chat. Let's see what happened here. Something in the chat. I want to make sure I'm missing it. We might be having questions in the chat. I just want to make sure we can get that at this time
Yeah,
because I know time is of the essence. Let's
he was asking for what the crypto is called. He put SWE, so I just
Oh,
put in.
sweet. Okay, yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, yeah, sweet. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's
So yeah,
SU.
that's what you say, my brother?
I was just spelling it for him SUI.
Yeah. So just like with you, if we go back to this, if I was going to look at my top three tokens right now, as you know, Darius has already covered. Bitcoin going up, 106,000. That's just crazy. I wanted to show you just over the last month the percentage of Bitcoin starting from going into that 80,000 range. It done about 22% over the month. So that's just tremendous to see that. But if I was going to go with my top three for layer ones, Solana is my number one, right? They're having some few problems, but just the ecosystem of some of the things they're building. If I wanted to go with some of the news and insights on some of the things they're building, you'll be able to go this basically here. They're rolling out having a MetaMask solution, so that's big because we know MetaMask is one of the largest digital wallets for people that they're doing a partnership with Chainlink, right? And then not only that, they're just basically um, trying to make their protocol faster, bridging, and then basically one of the things I liked here, Solana's 27% month-to-month growth in active users. That's a tremendous number right there. So we're seeing more and more users are now transacting on a network, and I think it's going to continue to grow more and more each year. So these are some of the things that I'm looking at right now for this ecosystem, and I've been buying even more. I bought majority of my tokens at about $8. My number is about maybe about 130%, 140% from here. So I'm looking at a 350, maybe $400 Solana. Anything can happen, but I'm looking at a 350 to $400 Solana. So you get on the Solana side, you can make at least 100 to 130%. On the SWE side, I'm looking at if we go to SWE, um 385, I'm looking at maybe that 17 $18 SWE by the end of the year. So, like you said, 4%, maybe 4.5. So you have ability to make 4 to 5x on your money, right? It's only $3.86. I know everybody in here and everybody's going to watch can get their hands on $400 in 7 months. So definitely start making positions. Right, number 13. I watched this token go from nothing to be the number 13 token all across the world. And then my favorite, which has been a lagger right now, is definitely I'm waiting on Aptos, which has went down. I think I'm trying to see where it's at 40. Because I think it's a lagger, right? 3.25 billion market cap. So it's way smaller. Comes from the same department, right? Aptos and Swede was partnering with a company called Diam, and they were a part of Facebook. So two different dev teams trying to achieve the same thing. Aptos is a little bit faster. I think with the market cap, right, and the amount of tokens, they have less amount of tokens out there. Then let's see, we can go to reports. Let's see metrics. Let's see how many tokens they have out there. Tokens unlocked. I think it's like 100 and something million. See, we can go. Okay, token unlocks. Let's see here. How many tokens they got out here? So total tokens is right at about 58 million. So it definitely has the ability to grow faster than Sweden has about billions of tokens. I think like 1 billion out on open market. So it's been a laggard. It's going down, but I believe that it can possibly 4x from here. We can possibly see a $15, $16, even maybe even $20 Aptos. That's a thing. That's a lot of things they have to do. But those are my three right now. Those are the ones that I'm investing heavily, and I think they're going to do tremendously well in this bull cycle. Well, we got about 10 minutes. I'll say we got about 10 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop my share here. I know this was a lot of research, a lot of talking. I know this is for some people who just get into crypto. You probably don't even know what we're talking about. At this time, I want you to ask questions. Whatever question that you have about crypto, we want you to ask it right now while you have us. Maybe you're just starting to get into crypto. Maybe you're buying a little bit of Bitcoin. Whatever you want us to ask us now, um, you can go ahead and put it in the chat, or you can go ahead and ask us by unmuting yourself, because we want to be able to help you and let you know what's going to happen at the end of the bull cycle, how to prepare yourself as an investor. So you have a question, anybody that's got one, go ahead and shout it out, or you can go in the chat. We're going to do this in about 10 minutes. All right, we got Josh. Josh has a question. What's your question,
How you
Josh?
doing?
Yes,
My
sir.
question would be, understanding, like I saw you break down three of them, three coins, right? From what I saw,
Yeah.
when it comes to like investment opportunity. So would you say just allocate like do you like your frequency? Do you put it in like monthly? Is that how you do it weekly? How do you like what's the best like I guess you say formula to be consistent with putting your funds in the market when it comes to like crypto? Is that like how you do it weekly, monthly? Just to
Yeah, that's a
be
good question.
consistent, but keeping
Yeah,
track of what you're doing.
what you want to do in crypto, and then I let Darius come in after this, is that you don't want to put a whole bunch of money in crypto because it's very
Hmm.
volatile. So what we do is we dollar cost average weekly. And I'm
Okay.
sure Darius does the same thing. There's a couple of cryptos that I've put a lot of money in, like Solana.
Hmm.
But I waited a long time. And this bull cycle is about to end probably around October and November. Just
Okay.
because there's only so much global liquidity that can be pumped in risk assets, going from the stock market, and then how the global markets move. They go from pretty much basically low high risk assets like stocks and equities and bonds, and then it
Hmm.
trickles down into high risk assets, right? So
Okay.
there's only going to be so much amount of money that's going to be pumped into to these assets. I would recommend DCA, something is, let's say, start with $20, $30 a week. If you can do that,
Okay.
if not 20, maybe
Yeah, that's
10,
cool.
and just continue to buy between now and the end of the year. There's going to be some platforms like Coinbase or Exodus. I would recommend getting Exodus wallet and staking those tokens, so you can at least get 6-7% on your money while you're holding and waiting for those bets to play out. And I think
Right.
right where you're
So you
at
use
now,
staking. Give me a second.
yeah,
Okay. Just trying to terminology is what I'm also
yeah.
trying to
So
make
staking is
sure.
basically bonding your token. You become a validator, So
Okay.
basically, and when you become a validator, you're validating the next block of transactions for the next group of users. And when you
Okay.
do that, you get paid some fees for that, interest fees on that. And it's usually somewhere between 6 and 7% on SWE. What you can do is I'll shoot you my email, or and me and Darius will put our emails in there, and then we can walk you
Mhm.
through that process. That'll be no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, DCA all the time. Um, I, and what me and Darius always tell in our when we consult is don't bite off more than you can chew. Try to get 3 or 4 projects that you really like. I would start with layer ones. That's a bunch of layer ones. Just type in layer one tokens that you really like and just really invest in 3 or 4 projects. Because, when I first started in crypto, and Darius probably did the same thing too, I bought like 40 different cryptos, and about maybe like 87% of them went to zero. And that, or maybe 98% loss.
Mhm.
But the good thing was there was about 4 or 5 of the cryptos that I bought, like Near, Render, Ethereum,
Mhm.
Aptos, Algorithm. They made 15, 20x potential. So they took care of all my losses. What we're trying to do is mitigate that for you and say, pick 3 or 4 projects that you like. Instead of putting casting your net so wide, diversify with those assets, and then
Mhm.
you'll do better than just trying to buy, the whole block of stuff. Try to find,
Understand.
those, start with those first, and then you can go to like gaming, deep end, because there's a whole bunch of narratives out there. AI is going to be a narrative, deep end is going to be a narrative this year, and real world assets is going to be a narrative. But I would start with layer one because they build the whole infrastructure for all these other tokens. Darius, is there anything else
Okay.
you want to share with Josh? I don't want to get you out of this. I want you to definitely be able to come in and really share with him about anything that you're doing on the investment side.
Yes, I would say when there's a knowledge gap of anything that you're invested in, it's going to take time for you to be comfortable investing into that asset. So
Mhm.
not only do we have these classes um, every Tuesday, but we've written articles about crypto and the technology behind it. That's on our website when we do our digital asset management. So you want to educate yourself, and like you said, if you're not comfortable, you want to invest in something that you're not going to miss out. Diamond put a good thing in the chat. She's like, $10 a week, something like that, so you wouldn't be afraid of losing it. Who's most people aren't going to miss out on $10. You can't really buy anything with $10, right now.
Mhm.
Way, so you want to look at it like that, and then also when you get more savvy and you get more seasoned in becoming a crypto investor, you know that it has a cycle. It runs off the Bitcoin halving cycle that happens every 4 years. So you may have heard people that have lost money in crypto. It's because they got in at the wrong time and they didn't buy and hold. Anytime you buy and hold, and this goes for most assets, when you buy and hold, you never lose. So if your money goes down, just don't sell it. But you have to buy good assets. So you want to start off with the top 10 coins, and you want to buy them. You want to hold them. If And when you're learning more and you come into these classes, you'll start to understand more and more, and that will help you be comfortable in investing into crypto. Um, we're not talking about the losses, but it's about the gains that most people see and run
Mhm.
towards. And you have the chance, uh, and during this bull market, to 3, 4x, 5x your money. And if you invest into the right things that we're helping you guys get through, you'll be able to make those types of returns. And once you make those returns, you're definitely going to want to educate yourself more on on crypto. I know when I made my first 10x return on crypto that I knew I need to learn everything about crypto, and that's kind of what I've been doing the last 6 years. I just been just learning everything I can about crypto, and then the technology behind it. Because once you understand that it's technology, you understand
Mhm.
that it's not going away. It's just you have
Yeah.
to make sure you invest into the right asset within this technology, and not be afraid to lose your investment That's why we tell people to diversify as well. Not only just buy one crypto and just wishing everything is going to happen on it without really doing the research. We tell people to buy good assets, not even just the crypto market and the stock market as well. So you're not afraid of, what you decide to invest into.
100%. That makes sense. That makes sense. Only one I've been like familiar with is like Ethereum, so I got to learn a little more about just everything else. That's it.
Yes, and
When it
then
comes to investing.
you want to learn, like you said, you want to learn the keywords when it comes to crypto. I'm actually working on some more documents so I can break down some of these acronyms that we've been using. Me and uh, Leonard, we use these acronyms because we've been in the space for so long that it doesn't make sense to use the full term, so we use the acronym.
Hmm.
I want to break that down and make it simple for people coming in, so you can learn how other crypto investors work. Like we was talking about the narrative and the you want to, because a lot of people follow trends in crypto, because if you follow the right trend, like you said, that can lead you to a 10x, a 20x, maybe even a 30x if possible. So you want to learn how the psychology behind these other crypto traders. You want to look what the big institutions are doing. You want to see what Google's doing in this space. You want to see what JP Morgan is doing in this space. You want to see what these companies that are already big in your mind. You want to see what they're doing in the crypto space because research is your best friend.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's
I
tools
like
out
that.
there, Josh. We just sent in the chat like there's Coin Market Cap, there's Luna Crush. The technology that I was using is Masari. Masari is actually
Okay.
a free tool. You can pay for it to get more high level analysis, but you can go to Masari.io. It's a free tool that you can use to be able to track, seeing where the money
Okay.
is coming from. Chat
That's all.
GPT is also a good tool. I use Chat GPT. Darius is always on it. Twitter is going to be your friend. Twitter is high
Twitter.
level
Okay.
analysis. When news comes in, most of the crypto um, companies they're going to post news on Twitter or X,
Okay.
and so you just want to be able to get information in real time because when you get information in real time, you'll be able to make decisions before everybody is making decisions, and that's how you make money in this market. But again, you don't need a lot of money to make money in crypto. So I know you're going to hear people
Hmm.
talking about, that they're throwing $1 million in. A lot of these guys you're going to see on TV, they really don't know high level finance. They're just
Hmm.
got lucky one time and they're getting wrecked a lot of times, but they got a lot of money so they can do it. But me and Darius come from a financial background. So we can talk about the economics of everything, where the money is moving, where's it coming from Asia, coming from, Dubai, America. And so we understand the cycles of it. So, and also, um, don't get greedy either. Like when you start to see the majority of people, this is one way, Josh, and me and Darius talked about this on last week, and he can really chime in. When you start to see Coinbase be the number one, number two, and number three app in the app
Hmm.
store, it's time for you to get out.
Hmm.
Simple as that. Because that everybody's going to want to try to make money. You're going to see all time highs, and everybody's going to try to make money at the same time. You should be thinking 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks. You make your 5 to 10x, and then we'll show you what to do by putting in stable coins when the market goes down and it's time to it's time to feast again, like a buffet. And as
Hmm.
a person who's been through crypto winter,
Hmm.
I'm just waiting on another one. I'm excited. I'm
Okay.
sure Darius is waiting on another one. Like we
Mhm.
just ready to go. Just try because we already know this next cycle is from
Mhm.
6 figure trades to 7 figure for us. So we're just
Okay.
excited. So definitely this cycle is going to build a lot of habits for you, like real good positive habits where you're going to be able to do a lot. So any type of research or anything you need from us, you got us. My email's on here. I think Daryl's going to send his. That's our company email. Just email us if you see something. We'll definitely do some
Okay.
analysis
I'm gonna
and
copy
send
it
it
and I'm
back
gonna
to you.
send y'all an
Yeah,
email right
yeah,
now.
no problem. Yeah, no problem, no problem. Any other questions from anybody else? We want to make sure we got about 5, 6 minutes. Anything else? And Darius, if you could, let's do a crypto like one-on-one definitions next week. if we could. I think that'd be a good thing for next week.
Yeah,
What you think about that?
yeah, we can break some of these terms down. FOMO, all that stuff. We need to break some of these terms down so people can understand the language that we're using, and
Yeah.
because most of the time, people get scared because they hear all these acronyms that people use, and they can't understand it, and most of the time it's just simple. It's simple for simple stuff that people can remember. So
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be a
Yeah.
good class because, like I said, most people, layer one, layer two, layer three, web one, web two, web three, they might not even understand what that means. So we can break these terms down to them.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think that'd be a good start. So, Josh, yeah, we'll do that next week. So, look out
Hmm.
for that. If you're not
Okay.
on, we're gonna do the YouTube. You'll be able to see it on YouTube as well. So look out that we
Awesome.
would definitely do a nice one-on-one to be able to just kind of navigate you and handhold you into the space until you, as an investor, start to develop the mindset and the habits to make money
Sure.
in
I
this
appreciate it.
space. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We're here for you. So, if there one more question, we got time for one more question. Then we're going to sign off for this week. This is going to be on YouTube in about maybe 20 minutes. So you guys will be able to see it on the Instagram page. Um, all righty. Well, if there's no more questions, Darius, is there anything else you want to share? Like last thoughts, anything before we sign off?
And like me and the bull run is headed this way. Bitcoin is looking to reach an all-time high. You guys are going to hear a lot of people say that they're gurus and all that stuff. But just come back to us with any information that you get. We don't want you guys to get scammed out here. Um, just do your own research. So you know, we 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 want to help you guys out. It's gonna be tough out here because everybody's gonna be talking about crypto, and like Leonard said, when that uncle, that aunt, that rarely talks to you, they start talking about crypto, it might be time for you to take your profits and leave. So we just want to help you guys out, walk you guys through this, and be successful, get these gains.
That's it. So we thank you you guys for joining in. We'll see you guys again next week. I will be out the country, but we're still going to do the class. So I might be doing it by phone because I don't know where would I be at the time. But we're still going to do the class, and I'm still going to be on Central Time, even though I'm going to be out the country. So next week, class 7 o'clock, we'll be here, and you also be able to see that on YouTube as well. We thank my brother Darius for joining us, and if you guys want to get like information, you can go to our website, Stratosphere Capital Partners, or Stratosphere, I think it's stratospherecappartners.com. And we'll put it on there. We'll send it in the chat on Instagram. And we have a whole bunch of articles and blogs that we do for as consulting with crypto. So you guys can really get the knowledge without having the headaches. Because we had to get the headaches with the knowledge. You guys get the knowledge without the headaches. So we thank you guys again. We'll see you guys on next Tuesday. All right, you guys, signing off.